Toastmasters Club. I am Chiran and I am part of the club committee in charge of setting up the meeting hall as well as other requirements for the meeting to go on. So this particular term position is called as Sergeant at Arms in Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Before we commence the meeting, I request each and everyone to put your phones on silent mode. Please do it within the next 10 seconds. Thank you. When you are called on stage, please make a note that you refrain from talking about sex, politics and religion in order to not hurt anyone's sentiment. So please enter and exit the room only when a speaker on the stage completes their speech and you hear applause going on. Thank you. So today's theme is about Together We Rise, which emphasizes on how being a team player we can grow. So this, I even eventually found out about the teamwork when I was very young. So this is during playing my favorite sports, that is volleyball. But there was a particular one team which I really enjoyed and cherished playing with. This is because whenever there was a bad day, they used to encourage me. They used to support me. This helped me to recoup and come back again next time better. So even today, I get inspired when someone thoughtfully comes over and helps me out when there is a requirement. So this particular one person I have to mention who has helped me a lot in this club. So even sometimes a small gestures that they make towards you, that has a big impact in your life. Like, I'll just give an example, small example, like writing down these award certificates when you're running out of time at the end of the meeting. So that gives you a moral boost. So this particular person, he is a team player, completely team player. So he leads a large group of people in his profession too. In Diversity India, he manages distillery and beverage sectors of Diversity India. So he is a leader in Toastmasters Club too. He is the current president of our club. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming the president of our club, Toastmaster Vaidyanathan.
Thanks, Toastmaster Chiran, for the lovely introduction. So I call to order meeting number 1368 of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. The minutes of the previous meeting 1367 was shared over WhatsApp and over mail. Both the minutes are recorded. Thank you very much. The minutes of the previous meeting 1367 stands fast. So today is a special meeting. So three of the clubs in Bangalore have joined hands, and then we are having a meeting called as a daily meeting. So the clubs being the Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Daffodils Club, and the Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club. So on behalf of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, I welcome the members of Speech Weavers and Daffodils Club. Also, there are quite a few guests who have joined us today, and I welcome them to this wonderful session. Yes, you may be having a lot of queries related to how to join this and how to give a speech. If you have any specific queries related to Toastmasters as a movement, please do reach out to our Vice President membership, Toastmaster Kamlesh, during the break or after the session gets over. Because we have an induction ceremony which is going to happen next week, wherein we are going to induct quite a few members. So if you need to be a part of this wonderful setup, please do reach out to Kamlesh. With that, the theme for today's meeting is Together We Rise. So this signifies the importance of being a team or the team spirit. The moment I heard this particular theme, it reminded me of one particular book called as The Last Lecture, which was written by Randy Pausch. So most of you may be aware of Randy Pausch, but Randy Pausch, for people who are not aware, a small introduction about him. He was a professor of computer science at Carnegie Mellon University. In the year 2007, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And doctor said that this gentleman is going to live only for 6 months. And that's when he had this opportunity to deliver the last lecture, which is a series of lectures which Carnegie Mellon used to run for professors, wherein they need to come on stage and then they need to speak as if it is going to be the last lecture. But in the case of Randy Pausch, it happened to be a real incident because he's not going to live. He knew that he's not going to live for more than 6 months. And that last lecture, it was delivered in front of a packed audience. And in that particular lecture, he spoke about the importance of team spirit by virtue of a small story. And the story goes like this. A small football club, they assembled together the first practice session. And the coach came. But the players who were assembled were quite surprised because the coach didn't come with the football. So one member of the football team said that, "Coach, we are assembled here to play football, but we don't see a football here." He said, "Yeah, this is what I'm going to teach you today." Then he started asking a question. So the coach started asking a couple of questions in front. So how many people play in a football match? One gentleman said 11 in one team, so 22 people will be on ground. So how many football they will be using in a match? So one guy said only one. Only one football, 22 people, and at any point in time, only one person would be in possession of the ball, and the rest of the 21 would be running. Just imagine if the rest of the 21 are not present, the game will never be a game. And if everybody starts thinking about having a possession of the ball, then the game can't be a game. The game can be considered as a game only when one person gets possession of the ball and the rest of the people support. In this case, in the team, 10 people support one gentleman to have possession so that the team wins. That's the importance of team spirit. In the last lecture, he spoke so highly about what a person needs to do to accomplish greater tasks in his life by virtue of being a part of a team. So with that small anecdote about Randy Pausch, let me hand it over to my fellow Toastmaster, who is the president of the Speech Weavers Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Joseph Benedict. Please give a round of applause.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are blessed this evening because the very venue is called Ashirwad. And we have been here for the last 25 years with the great Ashirwad upon you all. So we wanted to enjoy this pleasant evening with you today. Togetherness is the theme. Togetherness is about heart, not habit. Togetherness is about love, not location. Togetherness is about conviction and not convenience. Togetherness is about vulnerability and not visual presence. Togetherness is about forgiveness, not impressions. Togetherness is ultimately moves God. Our prayers become empowered. Our resilience grows stronger. Our community and world changes. That's what it will get. What happened in the pandemic? You have been locked out. There you come with your family togetherness. The men learned how to keep their house clean and how to cook the food. The wife was very much appreciating the man because he is learning. You are not learned, you are not cared before. Secondly, the children recognize the parents because they don't know when they go and they are sleeping. When they come, they are sleeping. The parents love the children. In all, the entire family is together. That's a wonderful gift of God. This lockdown brought that principle of discipline in the house. So to say, with the lockdown, for a period of 2 years, the togetherness is resulted in, suppose, before the door closed, there were 4 people. After 2 years, when the door opened, there are 6 people. You understand what it means. That is the togetherness. So the family developed love and affection. There were sometimes also a little bit of what you call this sad part of it, the good part of it, there will be fighting, because they are all the spices of life. So you should not have happiness all the time. You should also have the bitterness or something else so that you refresh yourself once again. In the case of couples, what I have seen and what I have experienced, every couple has not always happy. But sometimes they fight each other. Once they fight each other, then there is a time for compromise. That particular time when they compromise each other, the best time of their life. They were fresh as if they married just then. That is the affection is developed. And that is what the togetherness is. So to say, there is one more thing that come up because of lockdown, that is networking system. We now contacted the worldwide people, China, Russia, whatever it is, wherever you go, the whole world is connected to the internet. And this internet has also helped in our Toastmaster life. We have been connected to various places and we are sending our knowledge, we are participating with them, and many things have been happening. And I being a Toastmaster of the Chapter 1 Club, Santa Ana, California, also in Malaysia, as a Vice President, Area Director for California Club, Carolina Clubs. I have been visiting many clubs. One thing I found, your club has been elevated to that soaring height. I was very surprised. When I introduced myself, I am from Bangalore. People ask me, are you from Bangalore Toastmasters? I know about that one, but I am not from Bangalore Toastmasters speech. There is a lady who came to say that Bangalore Toastmasters Club is a topmost level, and that lady is not no other than your own Toastmaster Nazim. Give a great round of applause for her elevation of the club. Thank you so much for your listening.
I can't continue my speech with empty seats in the front. I request people at the back to come forward and fill the empty seats, because since we are celebrating togetherness, even share need the togetherness, right? So I request people at the back to come in the front. Okay, thank you so much. I would like to know, in your past, you don't want to sign up for any trekking but you have did it. Might know who all done this in your life. I want to know, you don't want to do trekking. It's very hard, but you ended up signing up in your past thing. Is there anyone who signed up for the trekking in the past? Oh, there are many. Yes. In 2022, a group of 25 students decided to trek to one of the second largest peak in Karnataka, Kumara Parvata. I can see doctor and her wife, a Toastmasters, and MNC peoples, and students, and many more. While I was trekking, I came across a doctor motivating her wife to climb the mountain. A Toastmaster helping other Toastmasters to climb the mountain. A stranger offering snacks while trekking. At the end of the trekking, it was very evident to see the happiness in the face of every trekkers after climbing one of the toughest 20 kilometers trekking. Though it's one of the toughest trekking of 20 kilometers, those people were able to climb because they surrounded with the right people who motivated them irrespective of difficulties in their journey. With this togetherness, they climbed the mountain. If we stand together and support each other, we can do wonder in our life. With that, I welcome you all for the Daffodils, Bangalore, and Speechweavers Toastmasters meeting. To take this meeting forward, we have a very special person, an all-rounder, an ex-Christite, who works in a product development in social initiative startup, who is none other than Toastmaster Ankita.
Thank you so much, President Toastmaster Jeevan. Can everybody hear me? Just a quick check. Yes. I'm pretty loud? Yes. Perfect, thank you. They say on the road to success, there's always we and not just me. Unless you're coming from Silpur Junction or from a very crowded traffic area. But let me explain the same through a very small story which I've not only heard but also experienced it personally with a group of teachers. I'm pretty sure each one of you seated here have experienced this fun-filled game called musical chair. If yes, please raise your hands. Perfect. In a typical musical chair game, if there are 10 participants, the game organizers brings out 9 chairs and there's music that's being played in the background. When the music stops, each participant is requested to find a chair for himself or herself. Because there are 9 chairs against 10 participants, there's one participant left without a chair and who is requested to move out of the game as he or she is being eliminated. After every game, a chair is removed, rest of the participants continue playing the game until one participant finds that last seat for himself and is declared as winner. Have you all played this game in the same format? Can I say yes? Perfect. This game sounds fun and everybody aims at being a winner rather than everyone can be a winner. With this little thought in mind, what Japanese people did was they brought in a small change in this game. And this is something that I tried along with my team for 50 teachers in one of the schools in Bangalore called Sarvodaya Public School. We had 5 groups, each containing 10 teachers, and as usual the team organizer brought in 9 chairs against the 10 people. But the twist in the game was, when the music stopped, each participant needs to find themselves in the game, even with the person who doesn't have the chair. If a person is left without a chair in that particular group, the entire team is eliminated. So you can assume it's a team effort basically. As and when every team played game after game after game, participants started shifting, shuffling, started hugging each other In fact, there was a time when teams started discussing about the strengths that they hold. Okay, who can really accommodate 2 people on themselves? So they were trying to see what are the strengths each one of them hold and can continue playing the game. Now you heard 2 versions of this game. One version where the participant is focused on winning, that it will lead to success. While the second version, participant learned that everybody needs to be included in the quest of the success. You are? It is this culture that we need to imbibe within ourselves and others around us. That the mantra is, I cannot succeed without the help of others. And this story lies very close to each one of us seated here. As Toastmaster, we join in for our individual journeys. But the growth depends on a lot of other people around you, like mentors, your committee people, your friends here who are here giving you valuable feedback for your growth. And together, as 3 clubs, we are here today joining hands to put up a great meeting for you all as a learning. That's something that I would say, together we rise. On this note, I welcome you all to this special Linkers meet called with the theme, Together We Rise. Another remarkable example of Together We Rise and Strive, what it looks like, is the beginning of Toastmasters community, which was started in the year 1924, October 22nd, by Ralph C. Smedley, which is a non-profit organization, educational venture for all people like you and me to build in that leadership and public speaking skills within ourselves. With that, for the benefit of guests, may I see how many guests do we have here today? Any guests? Perfect. While I know that it's a good number, for the benefit of the guests, the typical Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 important segments. The first is prepared speech section, where speakers, the members of the Toastmaster Club, have their prepared speeches being delivered, which is already being mentored by their mentors. The second section is the most fun part, where it is an impromptu speaking section when the topic is given on the spot by the table topic master. The third section is the evaluation section, where the evaluators of the prepared speech is what they will be delivering their evaluation for whatever they presented. With this, are we ready to get started?
Yes.
I think my energy and voice is pretty louder than yours, so can I hear it louder?
Yes.
Another louder?
Yes.
Perfect. So to get started, we have a very interesting person who is coming up, who will have the worm's eye view of this entire meeting to help each one of us, each club, to grow together. He is an application scientist in a biotech MNC and someone who is having a decade's experience as Toastmaster, which I can not even think about. He loves Bollywood music, and someone I was surprised to know about this morning, because I happened to meet this person 4 years back evaluating my older sibling in one of the clubs in Mumbai. So with that happiness and joy, can we put a round of applause for our general evaluator for this meeting, Toastmaster Ratan Shetty.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for that warm welcome. Today, as the general evaluator for the meeting, I will be making a note of the strengths of each person who takes up a role, or each person who gives a speech, either a prepared speech or a table topic speech. And in order to assist me in my role, I have a team, and in Toastmaster parlance, we call this team as the tag team. Now, as the timer today, which is the T from the tag team, we have Srinivas. So I request Srinivas to please explain his role as a timer.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
As the timer, it is my duty to time and record the duration of the entire meeting and its individual parts. For today's meeting, the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes in duration. At 5 minutes, I will hold up a green card. At 6 minutes, I hold up a yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I hold up a red card. For table topic sessions, the time allotted is from 1 to 2 minutes. For 1 minute, I hold up green card. For 1 minute 30 seconds, I hold up yellow card. And for 2 minutes, I hold up a red card. For evaluations, the time allotted is 3 minutes. For 2 minutes, I hold up green card. And for 2 minutes 30 seconds, I hold up yellow card. And for 3 minutes, I hold up a red card. I will submit reports when the general evaluator scored on my. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srinivas. Just one small addition, that there will be a grace period in all the three, whether it's speech or prepared speeches, the table topics as well as the evaluation, and there will be a 30-second grace period for each of the respective speeches. Thanks once again. And now I request Toastmaster Alan to please read out his role as the R counter.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm your R counter, also known as the filler word freak or the slayer. I am the guardian of great speaking, and I will be closely looking out for those annoying words like and So get ready to rock this evening. Remember to speak clearly and confidently, and watch those filler words disappear faster than snacks at the Toastmaster meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alan, for that brilliant rendition of your role. Now I request Toastmaster Jose to please spell out his role as the grammarian for the day.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, thank you. As a grammarian, I have two main roles. One is to record the good usage and the not so good usage of the language and report it at the end of the meeting. And the second is I'm responsible for introducing the word of the day. And the word of today's meeting is congregate, which means to assemble or to come together into a group. A usage would be, an example of the usage would be, the members began to congregate in the hall from 6 p.m. on itself today. I request each of the speakers to use the word of the day. Over to you,
Thank you so much. And in order to take today's congregation of 3 clubs of Bangalore forward, I request the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anita.
So, we are all set to get started with our first section of the meeting, that's prepared speech section. The first speaker who will be taking the stage, before I introduce them, I would request his evaluator to please rise and read the guidelines out, please.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
The speaker is attending his L1P3 from the Presentation Mastery Pathways. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice and deliver a speech using vocal variety and body language to enhance the speech. All the best to the speaker. Over to you.
While the guidelines looks very simple, let me talk about this person a bit. He is a non-executive resident director of a board of 2 Indian, okay, that was a ring, so I should be quicker, of 2 Indian subsidiaries of MNCs. He is also a qualified company secretary and a law graduate who has 30 plus years of experience in the corporate sector. He is also awarded or labeled as second runner-up in the International Speech Contest in the year 2022 at the District 121. While the list goes on and on and on, I would like to only share this part. When I asked him, what does togetherness mean to you? He simply straightaway gave a very beautiful answer. It's about shaking hands with warmth and smile on each other, whoever people who are shaking hands on their individual faces. So why not, with that happiness in your heart, we welcome our first speaker who is attempting his L1P3 speech with the title Gold. Please welcome our first speaker, Mr. Williams.
Dada, happy Akshay Tritiya. We, Mom and I in Pune are celebrating the Akshay Tritiya by investing in 20 units of luscious, delicious, scrumptious and aromatic gold. And I'm sending a box food to you. Bye-bye. Toastmasters, my fellow Toastmasters and guests, my naughty, mischievous sister Pankaja appeared to be very happy. But in the background, I could hear was my mom unable to breathe? Exactly a month back, she was admitted to hospital in Pune, unable to breathe. From Bangalore, I traveled 1,000 kilometers to the hospital, and there I saw Dr. Shah encouraging, motivating, inspiring my mom to inhale and exhale through the respiratory lungs exerciser, the spirometer. My mom attempted a couple of times. Then she said, enough. I couldn't believe my mom used to work the whole day without any rest, exhausted. The only energy she had was to lay back on the hospital bed with the oxygen mask on. Doctor, why is my mom unable to breathe? What about the medicines? Lillian, your mom had a severe pneumonia 10 years back, and the lack of post-pneumonia rehabilitation treatment then has made her lungs hard, inelastic. Unfortunately, there are no medicines which can enhance the elasticity of the lungs. After all, it is only the elastic lungs which can inhale sufficient amount of oxygen necessary for our entire body. The only way out, despite laborious, is to inhale and exhale through this respiratory lungs exerciser multiple times daily, day after day. And once she improves, she can start doing physical exercises. And then, if possible, she can start walking. And this is applicable to everyone. Women, remember, lungs is like our goal. We have to invest in our goal. Toastmasters and guests, should we not all invest in our goal, our lungs? At the hospital, nothing inspired me more than to see my mom, short, skinny, thin, but mentally fit and determined, kept on attempting every day, multiple times, day in and day out, week 1, week 2, everything what Dr. Shah said. The positive results in her inspired Dr. Shah the most. he would say, wow, my patient is now able to lift the ball from the spirometer. Wow, my patient is now able to do the physical exercises. And wow, my patient is walking. And I'm sure my patient will be running back home shortly. Toastmasters, we have to invest in our approach. A week later, that was week 3rd, Mom said, enough, let me go home. Dr. Shah immediately allowed us to be discharged. Before parting, he said, 3 magic mantra for healthy, elastic lungs, which is applicable to everyone. BPL. B, 2 breathing exercises daily, pranayama. P, be physically active, walk a lot, walk up the stairs. L, laugh your lungs out. My most memorable days was at the hospital with my mom, sister, reading aloud humorous stories of Pura Deshpande, the Marathi humorous author, and we laughed our lungs out. Have you ever tried reading aloud humorous stories in a group? It's refreshing, rejuvenating, revitalizing. Two weeks after that, May 3rd, I was at my home and the luscious, scrumptious, delicious, aromatic gold arrived. Guess what? Hapus, Amba, Alfonso mangoes. And that time, my sister called. Pankaja, thank you for this luscious, delicious, scrumptious gold. My gold, my mom was global. That day, I realized the importance of taking care of my lungs all the more and have been meticulously doing BPL, pranayam, walking, running a lot, and laughing my lungs out. The results, I finished 4 full marathons since then. Do you take care of your lungs, your growth? When you take care of your lungs will take care of you.
Well, when DTM was talking about his journey about the health, I was just taken aback thinking and reflecting how's my health journey. Definitely this current generation is comparatively weaker when we compare to our grandparents' generation. So it's very clear that health is wealth, no matter how much wealth that you hold materialistically, right? So thank you so much DTM Milan for that wonderful speech. Moving ahead, we have our second speaker who doesn't just carry our club name and not just as Christ type, but also is a proud area director of Area A4 of District 92. He was a former analyst at Goldman Sachs and currently a quant finance aspirant. I believe too many finances. Treasurers, if you are present, please do know whom to reach out to for advices. He loves to take walk. He loves reading. At the same time, he's a gaming addict. Whenever I talk to him about something, I've heard people talk about cricket, but he's someone who loves talking about massive Formula 1. And I was like, what is that? He is someone, when I asked, what does togetherness mean to you? He simply said, togetherness to me is being close to them. Being close to them when you believe in what togetherness is. Please put your hands together. I'm sorry, I missed calling out our evaluator for the second speaker to please rise and read out the guidelines.
Sure.
Thank you.
The project is engage your audience with humor. The goal of the project is to help members discover their unique style of humor and effectively integrate it into a speech that conveys a clear and impactful message. Timer, please note it is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Well, that was interesting. We have learnt about him and now we know the guideline. So are you all ready to hear him out? Yes. Please welcome our second speaker, Toastmaster Akash, who is attempting L3P1 speech with the title, Tangled.
Akash, this report needs to be submitted and it needs to be submitted today before you go back home. The workloads are too much and the volumes are increasing. And I have back-to-back meetings from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Alright, I get it. Everyone else has it tougher than me. Even though I have to live alone, clean the house, cook food, wash my car, do the laundry, take my car to work for 20 kilometers and actually grind at the workspace. My head hurts and my body just wants to go to sleep. But nobody in this world will let me. Toastmasters and guests, so many problems in life. Do you all know what this is? These are not earphones. With so many problems in my life, this is now the working model of my brain. So many problems, so many knots and so many things happening to my brain. It's no wonder my head starts hurting a lot. This is the working model of my brain. And one bombshell that day was enough for my boss. I didn't need a second one. But 5 minutes later, I get a phone call from the person that I'm most terrified of in this entire world. My mother. My mother calls me and throws the second bombshell at me. She's coming to visit me in Bangalore the very next morning. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm usually very happy to see her. But now I have to live with the most terrifying person on earth, alone, in a house that I hadn't bothered cleaning for 5 days. In a house where I hadn't bothered to do any after-party maintenance, so she was going to see all the alcohol bottles and cigarette packs that I hadn't bothered to keep away. And she's going to be cooking in a kitchen which I was this close to blowing up. Sure enough, my mother came, took one look at the house, and for the next 20 minutes, I understood how the Ukrainians must have felt when Russia invaded their country. Why is the house so dirty? The house is so dirty. Look at this, wrappers everywhere, bottles everywhere. You are not fit to live alone and take care of yourself. And even if you got married, sometime your wife is going to someday leave you on the very first day. I have to take care of so many things. Our house, your father, your sister, cooking, cleaning, all the other work. And now I have to take care of your house and you. I'm serious, I'm this close to grounding a 23-year-old male person who's supposed to be grown up at this age. Alright, I get it. My mom has it tougher than I do. But it didn't distract me from the fact that there were problems. There was a problem. The house was dirty. It was very dirty and it needed cleaning. My clothes hadn't been washed. My car hadn't been cleaned. There were a lot of problems. And my mom had the option, and she did really threaten to leave the house just like it was, live with me and put up with all the nonsense, and use every opportunity to use the dirty house to remind me of my immaturity. But instead, she took a mop, cleaned the floor, switched on the washing machine, and made me a sandwich. And that was when I observed something truly interesting. When I ate that sandwich that my mom made, I felt all the knots in my brain disappearing from my life. Toastmasters and guests, all of us have problems, some more than others. Sure, some of us have it tougher than we do. But there is a way to sort out all these problems. there is a way to sort out all the knots that we have in our lives. That day I learned my mom has the toughest job in the world. She has to take care of her family, she has to take care of me, and she has to take care of herself. And she carries the entire household on her back. But that day, she was able to undo the knots in her brain and mine as well. Most of us start our journeys, and most of us start out like this. Our brains completely entangled in problems big and small. But what truly matters is the way we can calm ourselves down. Keep calm, sort out all our problems, and if we calmly just undo the knots in our brain one by one, take some time out and undo the knots while keeping calm. Life starts to become simple. You start out with the most important ones, the ones which help you lead your life to its fullest, the ends of your life. And slowly you navigate your way through each and every knot that is there, taking care of each small knot and ensuring that your life becomes as simple as you want it to be. Your thoughts flowing as straight as you want it to be, and your life being as calm and as simple as you want it to be. And with this, I was also able to transform my life by keeping calm, undoing the small and big knots in my life, and ensuring that my thoughts flow freely and I'm a happier person. Every day, I've managed to ensure that my house is clean and spick and span. Not because I clean the house, but because my mom made me hire a maid. From being this close to blowing up my kitchen, I am now a better cook. I know this because I have cooked meals for my family in the past. And each and every one of my family members is still alive today. But more importantly, I've been able to ensure that I can undo the knots and solve the problems in my life simply by keeping calm, not getting irritated and making the knots worse in our lives, but by undoing each knot one by one and ensuring that our lives become simple. I'm sure most of us don't like our lives to be as tangled as my brain was earlier. But by untangling these knots, we can untangle our lives and make it simple and be happy in the future. Back in.
I've been the most impatient person in my life. I would always panic at little things that can spoil other plans that I have tagged along with it. But thanks to Vipassana kind of programs that actually help me realize that all of these are temporary. It's okay, we need to calm down and think what could be best done in such a situation. So, for that super message for all super moms in our life and that beautiful speech, can we give a round of applause? Before I call upon our third speaker, can I request the evaluator to kindly read out the guidelines, please?
The purpose statements. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice the skills needed to motivate team members through the completion of the project. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her experience motivating team members through the completion of the project.
So our third speaker, professionally if I say, he is a clean energy enthusiast at Technocrat. He is also a senior director at Emphas Energy. He loves being amidst the nature, traveling, cycling. Has been with Bangalore Toastmasters Club since inception and has also served as past president in the year 2002. When I asked him, what does togetherness mean to you? He simply said, it's all about sharing and caring. It's more of we than me. for that beautiful message, let's call upon our third speaker, Toastmaster Somashekar, with his speech titled The Catalyst, attempting L4P1.
A successful CEO of a very large company was traveling in his car and he saw a stunning sight. Two men on the roadside, they were eating grass. He asked his driver to stop, got out of the car, walked up to them and asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "We are poor. I am broken. I don't have food to eat. Hence I am eating grass." And the CEO said, "Don't worry, I will feed you." Here's the other man. He also said, "I don't have anything. My family is there right under the tree." He said, "More the merrier. Bring them along." So they all sit in the car, and this man thankfully tells the CEO, "I'm so grateful to you for taking us along." And the CEO replies, "It's all good. It's my pleasure. You will love my place. The grass at my place is 1 meter high." Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, this is the reason why the employees don't trust their management, especially when the CXOs speak. I joined this company in as a senior director a year back, and I had the same problem in hand. The teams did not trust the management who are in the US. Now, I am a strong believer that as a manager, you don't be just as a conduit connecting the executives there, top to the employees here and just pushing whatever they have told you. I always believe in the chemistry of the team, and I wanted to be the catalyst. So I tried to understand what is the problem my team was facing. One, I noticed everyone were working in their own silos. They are not connected at all. So in my first team meeting, I had to tell this story about this construction site wherein a man walks by to see so many people constructing this building. He walks up to a man and asks, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I am laying bricks. Don't you see it?" He asked another man who's doing the same job, "What are you doing?" He said, "I am building this wall. Now don't disturb me. I need to finish it by evening." He walks up to the third man, and this man with pride, he says, "I am building a hospital. This is a 100-bed hospital, and there is no such thing here. It will help the needy in around the villages." Now, who do you think is doing the best job? Right? You know it. I had to connect this to my software engineers who were just doing bug fixes and doing few lines of code. Well, luckily, the company which I work for, we work on clean energy. So we supply equipments through which you can harness the power of sun and generate electricity. And the piece of software what this team writes, it is going into this product. I told them, "You are doing a great job. There are people who are waiting for weekends to go to an NGO and serve people. But then you are doing here during the day, right? You are saving this planet. That's the biggest contribution you do." So friends, this changed the way they looked at things. They were not doing the job. Second problem, fairness. All of us want to be treated fairly, isn't it? This team, which I was supposed to lead, had 25% of the people, they were there in the company for more than 5 years. 75% just 1 or 2 years old. In every meeting, the seniors, so they would take the limelight, and others, definitely, they didn't feel good at all. So I felt the team was really not ramping up. So we made the rule from the next meeting onwards, the first preference on any project updates, it was given by the newcomers. And only if there's any problem, they reached out to the senior members. That made big difference. We did see a big change where, the equality wasn't there. Third problem. Now, everybody needs a pat in the back, right? And we wait for that big moments to celebrate. The problem I saw, these were all actually the post-pandemic era. Everybody were virtually connected. Togetherness was just a word. I had to do something about it. So what is that? Typically, we call the consultant, team building on a Friday, go out, some beer, party, right? But then I had just joined, no budget. I had to prove myself first. One Friday evening, I just wrote an email. I said, I'll be at Lal Bagh West Gate at 7 a.m. tomorrow. We are all going for I said, I am going for a 3-kilometer walk, followed by wonderful idlis and masala dosas you get in Baswangudi area. If you're not, you should try that. Believe it or not, the next day, 75% of the team turned. We think we can connect with each other only in those evening parties. In fact, that doesn't happen at all. Either people are on their Instagrams showing each other their feeds, they don't really connect. This morning meeting made a big difference. And that day, everyone decided every month we're all going to go for a trek. My dear friends, no budget, nothing. It's a mindset. What is needed? I think all of you, all of us, every team member of yours are unique. That's what I believe. Each one of you are unique and you have something, skills with you. And I am very sure you will hate when you are being managed. Right? I think all you have to do is to ignite that spark within your team member or any team member. With that, it's not just you'll be efficient, but you can have more time. After all, work-life balance is what we want in life. My dear friends, everyone brings in joy to their workplace. Few while entering, others while isn't it? Being a Toastmaster, try to bring the joy when you are entering the office or logging into the meeting.
Well, one of the key learning that I really picked up from Sir's speech was about the mindset that you hold. And at least from the space that I come from, working with owners of schools, working with parents of schools, working with teachers of school and students all along, breaking that fixed mindset and taking them through that growth mindset is a bigger challenge. But then how can we do it is something about to think about it. Thank you so much for that beautiful speech. Can we have a round of applause? With this, did you enjoy our 3 wonderful speeches by 3 wonderful speakers? Did you?
Yes.
A little louder?
Yes.
Oh, I see still the energy is there. But let's break for 5 minutes and get back soon. So it's 7:28. I would say next 5 minutes we will be here. You can calculate it. We'll see you. Thank you. Louder than that bell. I'll also tell you another benefit of clapping because I believe a lot of you know it. If anybody is sleepy, that will also take away that feeling of sleeping. But today is World Sleepy Day, by the way. So you can go back and sleep really well for good few hours. So don't worry about it. So are we back? Do we have everyone back? Can we start?
Yes.
Perfect. The energy was high. Perfect. Before I begin, Shalma, ma'am, I would like to call here. We need to get a quick count of people who have their 4-wheelers and 2-wheelers, who have bought 4-wheelers parked over here. Can we have a quick raising of hands? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Thank you. And 2-wheelers. Thank you so much. Perfect. Thank you. Are you all excited for our second section of the meeting?
Yes.
This is my favorite section in the entire meeting. To take this ahead, we have someone who is the founder of a company called Financer, which is a financial service company that's managing for about 550 plus crores assets. That's a huge number. I mean, I can just keep counting. He is someone who has been BPM of their club, a passionate speech weaver, and also is the current VP Education for the 2nd time in the row. So can you guess what could his topics be around? maybe until you guess, we will welcome that person. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Adarsh.
It was not a long time ago when I was actually told that offline meetings are something of magic. Don't you agree with me? Don't you think offline meetings are actually fun?
Yes.
Really fun?
Yes.
How fun? On a scale of 0 to 5, how fun?
5.
6. I never said 6, I only said on a scale of 0 to 5. Maybe you should work on your listening skills, I guess. Alright then, that is exactly what I was told, and to be very honest, they were not wrong. And you know one more thing, I was actually told that offline meetings are one of those meetings where people come up to you and they say, hey Adarsh, give me a table topic. Hey Adarsh, please come to me. I'm so eager and so enthusiastic that I cannot wait to present a table topic. And this is the kind of experience that I had back at an online meeting. So I was expecting something similar from an offline meeting. But that is exactly not what happened. Half of them came up to me this evening when I walked into the room and they said, Adarsh, please don't call me up on this stage. Just don't do it. I'm just too scared. Alright then. I thought maybe, you know what? There are going to be so many others in the room. So how does it matter? There are so many others in the room. And guess what? The same thing happened again. Someone came up to me and said, don't give me a table topic. I feel threatened by it. I feel so threatened to a point that this list that has been given to me by the VPE of Bangalore Toastmasters Club might be more or less worthless. But guess what? I'm going to be dauntless. That's how I want to accompany myself. So I'm going to go ahead and call on the names on this list without any hesitation whatsoever. That brings me to the table topic session. A table topic session is supposed to be that one session of the Toastmasters meeting where one can come up and deliver a 1 to 2 minute impromptu speech. But guess what? It's not going to be a 1 to 2 minute impromptu speech today, but instead going to be a 1.5 minute speech. That's right. You'll be timed. I think maybe the timer needs a bit of a notice here. I think you've already been informed by the VPE, but you'll have to raise the green card at 1 minute. At 1 minute 15 seconds, you'll raise the yellow card, and at 1 minute 30, you will raise the red card. That's right. This is being done to ensure that we give more opportunities in today's meeting. How many of you want a table topic in today's meeting? By a show of hands, come on. By a show of hands. That's right, I see a lot of hands being raised. Thank you very much. But guess what? I'm still going to go by the list. We have a very interesting theme today. It goes, Together We Rise. Together We Rise. And by the way, at Speech Fevers, we were calling it a rendezvous meeting. We were calling it an amazing rendezvous meeting. It was called a Linkers meeting before. I don't know why they changed the name, to be honest. But regardless, it's a rendezvous wherein all of us are together to present. And please make sure to use the word of the day in today's meeting, which is congregate. Thank you very much. Let's get started in that case. Who wants, let me see. By the way, today I have 3 different sets of table topics. I've written it on my phone because there's so many here. I have a set of normal topics and I have a set of situational topics. And I'm going to call on 2 people. That's why I'm going to call on 2 people so that we can give maximum opportunities in today's meeting. And then, of course, we have some humorous topics. Any of you that are good at humor will probably come on and present. Starting with the first topic, let me call on stage from the Bangalore Toastmasters Club, BTM Vijay Anand. BTM Vijay, here's your topic for today's meeting. It goes, by the way, in a rendezvous, you might be new to a lot. I mean, you're more or less new to me as well. So don't you think it's important that you introduce yourself to all of us to the best of your abilities? Your topic is, you're meeting us for the first time. Who are you?
Well, I must say I'm a confused soul. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Why am I saying confused soul? in school days, exam time, we had all those top 3 guys, 3-hour paper, within half an hour, sir, extra sheet, extra sheet. And we last 3, in the benchers, the last benchers, we haven't even written 3 lines. So I was wondering, I mean, a confused soul. I mean, what are those guys studying? I mean, how much they're writing? Okay, that's in your school days. Now let's go to another area of your life. Work. You join the workplace. And Toastmasters so is mentioned, right? We have those people with experience and newbies. Those guys, you know, fantastic, they're working. It seems that they're working so hard, but they're hardly working. And guys like us who are hardworking, the juniors, man, so confused. I got a first job 3% hike. I didn't feel so bad. Manager comes and says, congratulations. 3% hike. I was confused. I mean, what is this? After so much of hard work, only 3% hike. Friends, there's a paucity of time. I could go on and on. Already the card is gone. All of us in life might be confused. College days, your work days, you get married, more confusion. Trust me, there's going to be confusion in life. So when you get confused, trust me, you're in good company. 8 billion people.
That was quite a paper topic, wasn't it? Yes. Okay then, let's call on the next person onto the stage. I'm not going to talk too much after every topic because I have to give maximum opportunities, as I was told. To call on the next person, let me see. Toastmaster Aaron Kamath. Yes, Toastmaster Aaron Kamath. Question for you. Now, this is not a paper topic, by the way. Is this your first ever in-person meeting, or have you attended more meetings before? I have. You attended meetings before? All right then. You know what I want to do? It's very important that you share your experiences. It's very, very important. So, we'd like to know what was your first ever in-person meeting like. Describe your first ever in-person meeting. Okay, Bangalore Toastmasters.
My first ever physical meeting. I first attended a meeting at the Bangalore Toastmasters Club, which coincidentally is the only Toastmasters Club that I have attended a meeting at, though I have planned to attend many at other clubs. But it was a memorable day. A memorable day, why? Because it was Valentine's Day. My first meeting at the Bangalore Toastmasters Club was on Feb 14th. 2020, also coincidentally a month before we were on lockdown at home because of COVID. But you see, that memorable day was memorable because of 2 reasons. One, because it was my first meeting here. There are a few stalwarts at Bangalore Toastmasters Club, some of which are here today, which I continue to enjoy watching, learn from, and try to absorb as much as I can. And I was absolutely floored by watching some of them speak, and that continues to be. The second reason why that day is still memorable to me is because when backing up my car, I scratched it against the wall. So I was very conflicted on that day, on how I feel. On one hand, it was a beautiful day. I knew I wanted to be a Toastmaster. I was very inspired. On the second day, I knew there was a very big bill that was going to be presented to me, and a lot of explanation that was due at home because of scratching the car. So definitely a memorable day, a first experience for me. Thank you.
Once again, a round of applause. Thank you very much for that topic. Alright then. I'd like to call on someone from the Daffodils Toastmasters Club. Let me see. Toastmaster Asha. Toastmaster Asha. No, she's not here? Okay then. Okay, there are 3 people here. Raise your hand in case of any of you are Toastmaster Asha. Toastmaster Asha. Toastmaster Preeti. Toastmaster Preeti, I think this is your topic. Now, when a bunch of friends are congregated in a meeting room, what happens is one of them brags a lot about themselves. They say, you know what, I did this yesterday, I had such a wonderful time yesterday, I went to the mall and I bought a bunch of things. They sort of praise themselves quite a lot, so maybe I wanted to brag about this. Your topic for today is, tell us about how good your life is.
Good evening, Toastmasters. To start with, I'm going to brag about the wonderful tour which my husband, Toastmaster Mahesh, has planned for us. For the coming vacation, we are going for Singapore. We are going to Singapore, Malaysia, and beautiful thing is, in Thailand, body massage. Most of you will be knowing what it is. And bragging, one more thing is, I have a daughter whom I love a lot because her name is Vismaya and she is a preterm baby. She's born in 7 months, and people usually say people who are born premature are very smart. I totally agree. She's very smart, beautiful. And talking about my husband, not Toastmaster Mahesh, don't you?
Yeah.
Motherly, I think you have to ask Sir Asif sir for more information. He is handsome, and I feel insecure about with him even after 15 years of marriage. So girls get attracted to him even now. I make sure I send my daughter, get all the information which is there. So I think sufficient bragging is done about me for today. Okay.
The one thing I love to do more than anything else in the world is to brag about myself. I promised that I wouldn't brag about myself today, but unfortunately now that I'm on a stage where there are so many people, I don't have an option but to say that I can't. Just kidding. I'm going to invite someone from my very own club, Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, to present the next table topic. And the next table topic, but before that, I'd like to call on Toastmaster Mayur. Mayur, I've watched a lot of movies till today, to be very honest. And every time when I watch a horror movie, I actually go back and tell all my friends that the movie was really, really good. Why? It's because I don't want them to know that I wasted 500 rupees on a terrible movie. So your topic is, what was your worst movie? And convince all of us to go buy a ticket to watch it.
So all of us know that we right now are currently in a situation that most of us prefer that to watch on Prime or Netflix, and I would say if you go to a movie which is very bad actually, but if we congregate together and we could spend some time together, don't worry about the movie. We won't watch the movie. We will talk about how was your health, how was your family, what you did in the yesterday, or how was your job. So we can skip the screen and we can talk together. Or if you are a couple, you can do whatever you want in the hall. That's okay. And if you are a friend, then you can talk about your games. Like someone told about F1, so we can discuss about F1. I am also enthusiastic about Formula 1. Certain people are enthusiastic about football, cricket, and lot of many other things. So we can discuss about that thing as well. So these are the things we can do in a movie hall, and we don't have to watch the movie, and time will go by, and maybe we can have a certain amount of food and a lot of other things. Thank you.
How do you convince someone to watch a terrible movie? How do you do it? Well, it's just not possible, to be honest. But great work, my wonderful topic. All right, I'd like to call on someone from the Daffodils of Toastmasters Club. Is Toastmaster Aditya new? Toastmaster Aditya, there's one thing that all of us love to do more than anything else, especially if you're at least over 25 years of age. We love to talk about our childhood. We love to talk about it. So your topic is, what is one of your fondest memories from your childhood?
Thank you for that topic. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Firstly, I do meet that criteria. I am about 25. Let's just say about 25, let's not put the exact number. I'm an only child, so a very handful of memories, a lot of mistakes, a lot of funny incidents. But I guess if I have to reflect back, my first memory was, or rather, a memory that I would cherish is the first time I given an opportunity to become a master of ceremony. My English teacher calls me in the staff room. She's like, Aditya, here's a textbook, read this para. And I'm like, I still have 10 minutes of playing left. My friends are waiting for me. Why is she calling me? She never told me anything like this. And I read this paragraph and I just do it how normally I would. A little bit of theatrics, because I think that's how I was. It's kind of reduced after marriage. So I read this paragraph and then, a week goes by and my teacher, I still remember Vinanti Kini, great teacher, she's like, Aditya, you've been chosen as the master of ceremony. How do you feel? Okay, what am I supposed to do? So you're going to be the master of ceremony for the school day. So, I go, I buy a suit. That's the first exposure I have on stage. Maybe the first memory of why I decided to enroll into Toastmasters. And it was great because if 10 people knew who Aditya was, post that I think a little more people knew. So that was one good memory. But maybe I can even brag about if I link to the earlier topic. So yeah.
I have a very important question right now. I know how long do we have left for the table topic section. Alright, meanwhile, we'll move to the next segment of the table topic session itself. I've called it the situational table topics, and this is where I try to fit in as many people as possible. For this, I need two people. So I'm going to call on two people, let me see from back. Maybe I can call on someone from, maybe two people from Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Doesn't that sound good? Or maybe one person from Bangalore Toastmasters Club and one person from the Daffodils Toastmasters Club. Is Toastmaster Meeta here? Toastmaster Sahara from the Bangalore Toastmasters. Alright then, so this is where the both of you have an interesting conversation with each other. Now I'm going to test your compassion. I'm going to try to test your compassion levels. So your topic is, now let's imagine that you're a friend. Now both of you are friends, and let's say that you recently lost your pet. Let's say you recently lost your pet, so it is your duty to see to it that your friend is happy. So the scenario goes as follows. Your friend just lost a loved one or a pet. How do you handle the situation? Over to you to handle the situation. Please take it forward.
Hi Sana, why are you looking so dull? What happened? I just lost my pet. She was the most cutest person I ever met. Oh my god, is it? When? What happened? It happened around a week ago.
worry. We have many pets. You will get it. Come, let's go to the thing. Those are always waiting for the thing to get the pets. You will get it one more pet. So what will happen? You will be fresh and you will be enjoying it. Be cool and calm. You will get it. I will put the advertisement that your pet is lost. You can put it there and please get it back. And one more you can bring it. You will get it from like this. You will put the advertisement. You will get one. You want to get one. Your dog will be back. Don't worry about that. We have a thing. You will get more happiness. More okay. So what we'll do? Then we'll go tomorrow. Yeah. After the club we'll go tomorrow morning. We'll move and we'll go and get the new one. Right? Okay.
Fun, wasn't it? Fun. It is so difficult to have a conversation. The one thing I couldn't have growing up in my life was have a conversation, and two people just stood on the stage and had a conversation. Thank you very much. And I've been told by the timer that there is only room for one more person in this room. So maybe for the next speaker, I would like to call on, I see DTM on my list. DTM Rajdeep Manwani. Yes, there's the podium. So this is your topic. Your topic goes, it's actually, someone brought something. I actually have a very humorous topic for you. What is the worst smell you've ever experienced in your life?
I remember this very clearly. I was writing my exams when I was in my 8th standard before I lost my eyesight, and there was this guy sitting in front of me. And can you imagine? He was looking back and copying. And I was doing this maths exam. His name was Ramandeep Singh, and he was copying. And I told Ramandeep, don't look back because the examiner will see, and if they compare our papers, we both will get caught. He said, don't worry, Rajdeep, I'm changing the figures. Correct? And I don't know what you meant by that because we were writing a maths exam. I couldn't know. Don't do it. But after that, the amount of smells he left, nitrogen and oxygen, so he got a little scared or what happened, but I had to change my figures in my exam 3 or 4 times. And finally, that was a very, very bad smell which I had. So that was one of the smells. The other smell which I had was in my laboratory in my college, when I was in my school actually. And there was this hydrogen sulfide, the rotten eggs. And my God, the smell was so bad that it was worse even than the bell ringing over here. Thank you so much.
A round of applause to DTM Rajdeep Manwani. What is the worst smell you've experienced? I'll never answer that question, I swear, I'll never do it. Thank you very much. And by the way, sir, I think I know you pretty well because you actually delivered a speech at my university probably around 7 years ago. It was at Jain University. I was actually part of the orientation program that you presented. Thank you very much for being there, and thank you to all of you for joining us at this rendezvous meeting at Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Speech Weavers, and Daffodils Toastmasters Club. Over to you.
You all enjoy?
Yes.
See, every time I ask that question, I need the energy to be at the same level that I heard it for the first time. Was it fun?
Yes.
At the same time, did you learn something as well? That's the key part. Why was that? Yes. Did you?
Yes.
Perfect. So with this, I would request you to give a round of applause for our TTM master. Now it's the time for our final section of this meeting, which is the key part, because if you want to grow, if you want to rise, it's always important to take feedback positively and go ahead, keep practicing and go ahead. So for that, I would like to invite our general evaluator to take our evaluation section ahead. Please give a round of applause for our general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Together we rise. This theme or these words take me back to my childhood. And there is one story that I want to share here. That of a cartoon that we used to watch. It was a cartoon movie that we used to watch during my childhood. And that was about a fish. I don't know if people know about that particular story, that cartoon, where there was this fish, and the title of that animation snippet or whatever you call it was swimming. So this fish was a small black colored fish, and it had a lot of other red colored fishes which used to live together in the shore. What happened one day was that a tuna fish came and ate all these small black fishes which were there along with this fish with Swimmy, and only Swimmy was there. So as children, as 10-year-olds, there was a lot of emotion that you felt, where this fish was looking for other people just like it, other fishes just like it. And then it saw all the brilliance of the ocean with the brilliant jellyfishes and all the beautiful sights. And then it came across the large fishes, small fishes. But it was feeling lost because it had lost its brethren, all those small, tiny fishes, the red colored fishes. And then in a small shrub, in a shrub of corals, it finds the fishes, the small red colored fishes, just like it. And it says, come, let's swim in the seas. But these red fishes, they know that they are at a threat of being eaten by the tuna, and they say, no, we won't. But then he manages to get all these fishes. Then he says, see, as one, the other fishes might eat us, but let's do one thing. He arranges all the fishes in a particular pattern and sits in the center at the place where there could be an eye. And then they go across in the ocean. And the tuna fishes, which used to pursue these small fishes, now are pursued by this humongous fish-like creature. So that is what these words, together we rise, means to me. And it takes me back to my childhood, because it really symbolizes unity and how, even in the big bad world, you can survive when you are united. Although it is not so dramatic, when we look at Toastmasters, we are a very closely knit community. And I can say that, I can vouch for that, having been a part of clubs in Bangalore and in Mumbai. And when we have this kind of congregation where 3 clubs which have got illustrious stories of their own to tell, one set up way back in 97, one set up in 2003, the third set up in 2008. All of these clubs are more than 15 years into existence. And they are part of that community of maybe more than 100 clubs. But when I come here, I see that we have DTM Milan, whom I happened to interact with when I was in Mumbai, and I was looking as a contest organizer for judges. So I had interacted with them. There was another fellow Toastmaster of mine, Sanjay Khandelwal, whose sister used to come and visit us at the meetings in Chatrati Toastmasters in Mumbai. And she is over here, Ankita Khandelwal. So it's a small world. And we as Toastmasters are together and we help each other learn and grow. And now, in order to take this meeting forward, I would like to share my 2 cents as to how I felt the meeting went, the strengths of each role taker, and some areas where I felt that they could have done better. First up, we had the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Chiran. What I liked, Toastmaster Chiran, about the way you addressed the audience was, from day one, when you first took up this role to this day, you have grown in terms of the way you are articulating your message. The clarity was very much there for us to see today. One area of improvement which, if I were to suggest for you, is that a little bit of a technical detail. We don't call this role as Sergeant at Arms. Toastmasters calls this as Sergeant at Arms. It's not Bangalore Toastmasters Club, which calls the role as Sergeant at Arms. So that is a little bit of a technical detail, but otherwise we can see that you're growing in confidence. And what do we give to Toastmaster Chiran for a job well done? We then had the 3 presidents take stage. First up, we had Toastmaster Vaidyanathan, who gave us the story of Randy Posh and the last lecture. What I love about the president's address is the fact that he always has a story to narrate, and the story very well relates to the theme. Today he spoke about the last lecture and about the magic of teamwork. One suggestion from my side would be that if Toastmaster Vaidyanathan were to really take charge of the guest introduction, or assign it to one of the other presidents to take it up, because we do that. The president does the guest introduction, so one of the presidents needed to be doing that. So that was one thing that we missed. And I would have really looked forward to the introduction for Toastmaster Joseph. And then I would have loved Toastmaster Joseph to take stage. Other than that, very, so the salesman in me keeps coming in. So, very, clear and crisp message from the Bangalore Toastmasters Club president. A big round of applause to Toastmasters. Next we had Toastmaster Joseph, who addressed us, who's the Toastmaster, who's the president of Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club. What I liked about his address was the humor, which was very nice, subtle humor, which was there through his address, and very easygoing kind of demeanor I felt that he had. 2 aspects that I would like to recommend to him. First is about the audience interaction in terms of the eye contact with the members of the audience, and the second, a little bit of a finger on the time, which he went a little bit overboard in terms of the time that he took during his address, but otherwise, we give a big round of applause to Toastmasters. And then we had Toastmaster Jeevan take the stage, who gave us his story about the trekking escapades of his. What was endearing about Toastmaster Jeevan to me was his smile, which was there throughout, from the moment he took up the stage to the moment he called up the Toastmaster of the day. One suggestion from my side: we don't say Bangalore. When we say Daffodils Toastmasters Club, or we say Daffodils, for instance, or Speech Weavers, but we can say Bangalore Toastmasters Club. So Bangalore is the name of the city as well. So a little bit of that completion in terms of mentioning the name of the club would have been a little better, but otherwise, very, very, enthusiastic address by the president of Daffodils Toastmasters Club. A big round of applause to Toastmasters Club. Now, before I give my feedback to the Toastmaster of the day, I'd like to first give the feedback to the table topic master. Now, what I liked about the table topic master was the humor. When he came on the stage, you could see very, very light-hearted approach. The second thing that I liked was that he had the list of speakers ready with him, and though he played around with words and he spoke a little bit about it, I liked the fact that he was totally prepared. Couple of areas of improvement. We would love to hear bullet topics, bullet points as in the topic itself. That background takes a few seconds. So when we are at a premium for time, at such a meeting it's difficult if you elaborate and then speak about the topic. So if you can just speak about the topic, that would be good. Second thing, what we do as a practice is that we announce the topic and then give a 10-second time for the speaker to come up and mentally think of and mentally go through what he would speak. So that is one way you can approach a table topic. So the topic first is the other thing that I would look at. Other than that, lot of enthusiasm in this session. So a big round of applause to the table topic master. And before I call upon the role takers, there is one role for which I would like to give my feedback, and that is the Toastmaster of the Day. As Toastmaster of the Day, we had Toastmaster Ankita Khandelwal. At the outset, right from the beginning, the word go. What she ensured was that everyone was hooked on, and you did not allow time for people to look at their mobile screens probably, because she was ensuring that she got a response from the audience when she asked questions, and she was expecting a resonant response from them. So no scope for distractions. Her smile was contagious, is contagious. The introductions were in place for all the role takers. Another thing that we can learn from her, the way she essayed her role today, is that if we as role takers comment on a particular speaker, then we need to comment on each and every speaker. Or we can, on the other hand, decide that we do not want to comment and we just applaud the speaker and then move on. She ensured that she made a note and she commented and connected that speech to the next one. So that was again very well done. Throughout her conduct of her session, she gave her experiences, shared her experiences. We always love to hear our own stories, love to hear what we have experienced, what the speaker has experienced. So that is another good thing that she did. Just one area of improvement for Toastmaster Ankita, where she introduced the founder, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, and she could have elaborated a little bit in terms of when he started, where he started the Toastmasters meeting, and then gone on to say as to how many clubs we have across the world today, around 16,400 clubs, and how many members we have, more than 350,000 members in Toastmasters, so that the guests, people who are new to Toastmasters, can know about the movement. Having said all this, what do we give to all our role takers and all the people? Ken Blanchard, the author of 1 Minute Manager, once said that feedback is the breakfast for champions. So we had champions take up the stage, and we'll have some more champions take up the stage. So keep the applause going, fellow Toastmasters. And now to give his account of the time taken by each and every speaker today, I'd request the timer to come up. The evaluation first. So I'd now request the evaluator for the first speech, Toastmaster Mahesh Vitala, please give his evaluation.
Good evening, distinguished Toastmaster Milind Kumar. Your speech titled Gold was real treat like Alfonso's mangoes in your speech. The areas of speech which shine like gold are: first, the right voice modulations or the in-ear excels that you demonstrated here. I think that came out very well, which clearly depicted the breathing problem that was there. Second, the right usage of the face of words: short, skinny, thin, but mentally strong, gave a clear picture of the important character of your speech. Next, you had a great takeaway for the audience, which was the BPL, to take care of your goal, which is nothing but your lungs. The job well done there. The areas of the speech that look like bronze but needs to be worked upon to turn them into gold are as follows. First, although the title of the speech, gold, that you referred to was mainly for the lungs, right? You referred to gold in 3 different instances: the mangoes, the lungs, and the mother. So this diluted the gold that you referred to initially. If you could retry not to mix and match this gold that you are mainly referring to, that would avoid any confusion. Second, the voice was audible but feeble even in the front row. I'm sure the people at the last row had challenges. If you had made use of the infrastructure that is available, the mic, that would have been a good reach to all the audience present here. You said you completed 4 full marathons. But to inspire the audience, if you had even mentioned how long it took for you to prepare and how did you prepare towards it, it would have been really golden takeaway for me from your speech. In summary, the golden message of your speech, the BPL, which is breathing, physical active, and laughing it loud, is a great takeaway for us, and a little work on the bronze will make your speech a congregation of golden bars. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahesh. What we stick to in an evaluation is what we call as a CRC method, or commend, recommend, and commend. And that's what Toastmaster Mahesh did. And a big round of applause to both the speaker as well as the evaluator. I now request Toastmaster Vivek Vijay to please give his evaluation to Toastmaster Akash.
Yo, Akash. Charlie Chaplin had told that a day without laughter is a day wasted. I'm sure that none of us here wasted today at all. Toastmasters and friends, Akash delivered a very tough speech today because he was working with extreme constraints. What's the first constraint? It had to be a humorous speech. Humorous speech is at least thrice as difficult as a normal speech. Second, the audience in the venue is very different. He's not from this club. Third, we forbid the usage of sex, religion, and politics. What's left in humorous speech? So he was working with constraints. Of course, Akash had a brilliant way to inspire the audience to untie their knots with humor sprinkled all over. Akash was able to draw the attention and hold the interest with relatable topics like a boss and mom, which were humorous as well. That shows very good audience awareness. To be able to relate one's own home to that of the war field in Ukraine is something which Akash excelled at, and I would say that's a self-deprecating style of humor, and self-deprecating style of humor of his mom transforming from a strict woman to a very loving and kind woman is something which is really well done, and it takes some effort to do that. While Akash, you were able to draw the attention and the interest, I felt that you did not capitalize on it, on that subject, to draw enough desire into the speech, the rest of the speech. Let me suggest a few ideas. The example of mom was relatable and brilliant, but what you should have done is to exaggerate it into a story and made that occupy 70% of your speech. Like, for example, discovery of alcohol by your mom. You had told her that it's an apple juice, but when she shifted it could be beer, whatever that is. Exaggerate it. It may not have happened, exaggerate it. Then, the instance of the boss in the beginning, that it was not needed. It was a distraction. It didn't follow what I did not understand why it was needed. Reduce distractions in your speech. Third, the conclusion was a tad too long. The knots in the calm went on for a minute. Conclusion should be 2 or 3 sentences, quick and fast, and get out of the stage soon after conclusion. Do not harp on conclusion. Finally, I would say, considering the guidelines of the humorous speech is based on audience reaction, I felt like I had bought paneer butter masala and was searching for the paneer in it a bit too tad long, and I would increase the amount. I would suggest you to increase the amount of humor by increasing the exaggeration and reduce the conclusion drastically, and I think you will be a great inspirational speaker with a lot of humor sprinkled along. Look forward to your next speech, Akash, on this very stage.
Let the applause continue for both the speaker as well as the evaluator. In a speech, especially a prepared speech, one needs to know the objective and weave the speech around that objective. And that's precisely what the evaluator focused on, the objective of the speech and the various aspects. And that was really very, I would say, beyond being a comprehensive evaluation. Now I'd request the third evaluator to take the stage, Toastmaster Joseph, to evaluate Toastmaster.
Somashekhar, Egypt Somashekhar. It was a wonderful speech that I had ever heard in a speaker. So fortunately, a very continuous flow of your language, and it's so clear, and I really delighted the way in which you spoke. And it was very clear to the audience that your message and also the content that you have referred, how your management is not looking into the workers' results of the project. You have taken a construction company where the CEO is enjoying himself rather than creating the workers who are the ultimate people to complete the project. That was very wonderfully delivered. Second thing is, and your connection to that part of the motivation by taking out the leaders as to, or the CEO, whoever the manager, has to look into the workers' perspectives and see that they are very appreciated in their life of construction. And you have given a very good message of your teamwork should connect, and you give a simple walking on every morning in your routine and having your breakfast together with your company. Overall, your speech was well delivered, well organized, the vocal variety is very good, and throughout your continuity, a little pause cost should have been there, but you have not given the cost. It has to go on very much continuity. But your vocal variety is okay, but sometimes you have to have what is known as voice modulation, where you have to have the emotional feeling that the workers are not given any due and respect or something like that. So you have to have that question. These are the only challenges I give you, and the rest you are here. I would like to see your next speech in a very well considered manner, and you get a great applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joseph. As a general evaluator, it's my role to give a feedback not to the speaker but to the evaluator. My only feedback would be a little bit of elucidation in terms of how the structure was, whether the structure was placed, the opening body conclusion. But besides that, in terms of the objective of the speech, the evaluator has articulated very well his feedback to the speaker. And a big round of applause to both the speaker as well as the evaluator. For 3 clubs of Bangalore coming together for a rendezvous meeting, we are almost reaching the end of time, and the person who's going to take us to the end of the meeting, I'll call her back onto the stage with a... Yes, I request the our counter to give the timer to first, please give the timings.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. The timer started on Chirama Jordan to 2 minutes 58 seconds. The president, the Vaidinath, is within his time, that is 4 minutes 55 seconds. President Jivan exceeded time by 24 seconds, that is he took 3 minutes 24 seconds. The President Joseph took 5 minutes 21 seconds, that is he exceeded by the time 3 minutes 21 seconds. And TMOD, Toastmaster of the Day, Ankita, took around 30 minutes. And all speakers are within their time limit. And all evaluators are within their time limits except that Vivek, who took 3 minutes 5 seconds. And table topic master, Adarsh, took 7 minutes 22 seconds. General evaluator, Ratan Shetty, took 18 minutes as is now. And all table topics are all within their time limits except that Vijayanathan, Alan and Preeti. Vijayanathan took 1 minute 35 seconds, Alan took 1 minute 34 seconds, Preeti took 1 minute 32 seconds. This is my time limit.
Thank you, Srinivas. Now request the R counter, Toastmaster Alan, to take the stage.
I'm happy to report that the speeches tonight were amazing, and some were truly skilled speakers who kept filler words to a minimum, and some were even flawless, like Toastmaster Vaidyanathan, DTM Milind and DTM Rajdeep. Please give them a huge round of applause. Of course, there were a few ums and ahs here and there, but overall we did a fantastic job of staying on track and speaking with confidence. So let's give ourselves a huge round of applause for the job well done.
Thanks for a to-the-point report. And now Toastmaster Jose for the grammarian report.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Let me quickly start off with the not so good usage because there is very little. one speaker said, can do wonder, which could have been can do wonders in our life. Take the limelight could have been either hog the limelight or be in the limelight. Enthusiast about football should have been enthusiastic about football. And another not so good or a sad thing that happened was we had a congregation of about 70 persons and about 25 speakers, but we had only 3 people use the word of the day, which who were Ratan Shetty, Adarsh and Mayur. Now coming to the good usage and some great takeaways, I think we started off great with the last lecture by Randy Bosch, and then we had some wonderful usage of words which viewed some images like luscious, delicious and scrumptious, after party maintenance, ignite the spark, happiness in your heart, clean energy, enthusiasm, thoughts flowing straight, chemistry of the team and be the catalyst, untangle our lives. And then there were some mantras for life, like one mantra on the road to success was, I cannot succeed without the help of others. And then of course the magic mantra for elastic lungs, BPL. Then when you take care of your lungs will take care of you. A day without laughter is a day lost. And then in line with today's theme, I think we had wonderful words, some lines. Togetherness is about love, not location. Togetherness is about conviction, not convenience. Togetherness is about forgiveness, not impressions. And I think the best way to sum up today's meeting, almost the tagline of today's meeting is more of we than me.
Let's keep the applause going for the tag team. Cassandra Clare said that the world is a wheel. When we rise or fall, we do it together. And like the way we began when Toastmaster Vaidyanathan spoke about the football team, in a team we either rise together or we fall together. And with this, I'd like to hand over back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster.
Before I hand over the lectern back to the President, I request each one of you to kindly vote. The voting link has been shared with you all in your respective groups. And the password that needs to be set in is LEAP, L-E-A-P, all in small letters. I'll give you 30 seconds to do the same. L-E-A-P. Just because from the education space, used to writing on the board. Once done, I would request you to kindly give me a quick thumbs up. That was quick. Perfect. I see only 2 thumbs up so far. 4, 5, 6. Still a small number. The group here, looking forward to seeing your thumbs up. Perfect. I still see it still. Well, last 10 seconds. Perfect. I would like to just conclude by saying it was a wonderful opportunity given by each one of you here to be and explain, experience something that I really love doing, talking to people, experiencing the state and so on. So thank you so much each one of you. And I would just lastly say that together we rise, together we shine, together if we rise, we can conquer the entire world. तो बाबू मुशायन, public speaking और leadership तो छोटी सी चीज है, क्या करोगे? With that, I hand over the lectern back to the President.
There are quite a few Toastmasters who didn't get an opportunity to speak on table topics. I will pick and choose one, and you will definitely love him to speak. Toastmaster Alok, could you please come on stage? I'm going to give you Do you want the easy one? Okay, so why is it called as a rendezvous? Why not rendezvous?
Rendezvous. I think it's because it's French. I think it's because it's French, and I would actually, during my younger days, there used to be this program on Star Plus, I guess. I think it was Rendezvous with Sini Gareba. I think that was a program. I just used to see the advertisement. I never went on to watch an episode, but I always thought it was Rendezvous. That was how I used to spell it. And French is always confusing, right? There was another word. I always thought it was champagni. I always thought it was champagni, not champagne. So that is the way this languages are. And I mean, people always say English is a funny language. I'm sure French is an equally funny language as well. And that is what they always say, right? I mean, whenever you want to use cuss words, they always say, don't use French. Don't use French when they say cuss words, and don't use Greek and Latin, supposing when we speak English words. So that is my take on this topic. I didn't really expect this. So just hope it was not French here or Greek and Latin here. And again, it is rendezvous, not rendezvous, and it's champagne, not champagni.
I can think of only one thing whenever I hear the word French. I got it right. Anyway, now it's time for the award ceremony. And may I request the Toastmaster, Mr. Joseph Benedict, to come on stage, please. So the best auxiliary role taker award goes to the chief grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Joe Spot. She gave a different meaning today for music chair. She spoke about the Japanese form of music chair. The best role taker award for today's meeting goes to Toastmaster Ankita Kandela. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. May I request Toastmaster Jeevan to come on stage, please? The funny butter masala without paneer. The best evaluator for today is Toastmaster Vivek Vijay. This lady is still insecure about her husband. So she uses turned out the classes file to check what he's doing. So the best table topic award goes to the speaker award goes to Toastmaster Preeti. We all know about this dictum, the grass is greener on the other side, isn't it? But today we got to know the grass is taller on the other side. The best speaker for today goes to Toastmasters from a ticket. This is something that he wants. So the happiness trade. The trade without grass. And that brings us to the end of this wonderful session. And I adjourn meeting number 1368 of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. And before we disperse, a couple of announcements. One is we do have snacks, which is on offer. Please do take your snacks. And then take some time to mingle with people and then enjoy, spread the happiness, and then get back home safely. And you also will have a song which is going to be sung by Toastmaster Joseph Bennett. And that is after the meeting gets attended. So I adjourn meeting number 1368 of Bangalore Toastmasters Club.